What's up, everybody? Welcome back to another video on the Texas Rangers report. And in this video, we are going to be breaking down the potential starting rotation for the Texas Rangers going into the 2022 season. But if this is your first time watching the channel, make sure to subscribe right now, become your #1 source for all things Texas Rangers on YouTube. But also make sure to join the Discord because we talk Texas Rangers on the Discord 24/7. So getting straight into it, the Rangers have overhauled their team in this year's offseason. It's mainly been focused towards the hitters, although we have acquired some new pitchers. I'll just say this going off the bat, our rotation doesn't look as strong as our batting lineup, but we do have some young prospects that could take the next step and could become good guys in the rotation. But starting off, obviously we're going to have Jon Gray, and I think the #2 might be Perez. I think that's up for grabs, but obviously Perez will have a spot. #3 will be Dane Dunning. #4 will be Taylor Hearn. I think those 4 spots are pretty much locked in at this point in the season, or in this point in spring training. But the big question is, who will fill in that 5th spot? I think at this point we are done adding to the team. Obviously there's been rumors about Luis Castillo and Tyler Mahle, and then obviously Oakland has starting pitching that we could trade for. I really don't see us trading within the division, especially since Frankie Montas, who has 2 years of team control, will cost a lot, especially since he's in the division. I don't see us going for Sean Manaea since he's only worth 1 year of team control. So if we were to trade for a starter, I think it'd be at the deadline, and there's not really a bunch of good starting rotation pieces left in free agency. There's still Chris Archer, there's Mike Fiers, there's J.A. Happ, but it's not a lot of good pieces. So I mean, could you still add somebody? Yes, but I think the Rangers might just stick with what they have. So who do we have? We have Spencer Howard, who we got from the Phillies last year, and in the Kyle Gibson deal. We have Glenn Otto, who we got last year in the Joey Gallo deal. Those guys I think are most likely to get that 5th spot in the rotation. But who else could compete for that? There's John King, who was pretty much a star in the bullpen for the Rangers, but then our starting rotation was pretty bad last year, so he got some work in the rotation and then he got injured. He could compete for that. There's Kolby Allard, who we got from the Braves and the Chris Martin deal. I don't think he has the stuff to be a starter. I think his best shot is a long reliever, which isn't that bad. If he can be a good long reliever, then that's good for the Rangers. But if he competes and has a good spring training, you never know, he could work his way into the 5th spot because he showed promise in the past, but I just think he doesn't have the good breaking pitches or the good velocity to stick as a starter in the majors. That's why you've seen him be good and then not be have success the next week. And then there's also Alexy. He played pretty good in the majors last year. He had a 4.57 ERA, I believe. But the thing about him, his advanced numbers weren't that great. Like his FIP, his expected FIP, his expected ERA, they weren't that great. That's why I think the 2 guys that have the best chance is Spencer Howard and Glenn Otto. Remember, Spencer Howard was the #1 prospect in the Phillies organization 2 years ago, and he was the 28th overall prospect in the MLB 2 years ago. Obviously, he's fallen off a little bit, but that's why we were able to get him. Could you imagine if he never had fallen off the prospect ranking? We would never have been able to get him in the Kyle Gibson deal. And I heard from an article in The Athletic that since he's been traded to the Texas Rangers, he's been able to establish himself and get more comfortable in his routine, because with the Phillies, he was always being called up and sent down, and he was working in the bullpen, and he's more comfortable as a starter. So you never know, he could blossom this year. Also, Glenn Otto, he did really well last year in AAA, both in the Yankees organization and in the Rangers organization. If he has a good spring training, he could be the 5th guy in the rotation for us. But you never know. Like, the Rangers are always sneaky with trades. I never knew we were going to sign Brad Miller. That came out of nowhere. I never knew that we were going to trade for Mitch Garver. That came out of nowhere. So there's still a possibility that we could add to the rotation. Could there be a tandem with Garrett Richards? That's a possibility, but I think that's a low possibility. So let me know what you think in the comment section down below. What do you think the starting rotation will look like? If I had to guess, it'll probably be Spencer Howard or Glenn Otto. Just to note, Spencer Howard is 25, Glenn Otto is 26, but this is what I foresee the rotation looking like. Jon Gray, of course, as the ace, Martin Perez as the number 2. I don't think Martin Perez is a number 2. He shouldn't be a number 2, but I just think that's how it will start as the season goes along. It could change, of course. Dane Dunning is the number 3, Hearn is the number 4, and I'll say Spencer Howard as the number 5. Let me know what you think in the comment section down below. If you liked the video, please give it a thumbs up. That helps the channel a lot, and I'll see you on the next one. Peace.